Welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautiful Thursday, but the skies over Genoa City are looking incredibly dark right now. The drama is just non-stop. We have a massive breaking story to cover today, so grab a cup of coffee and let's dive right into the absolute chaos unfolding at the hospital. And it just never stops. The hits just keep coming for the Winters family. So we all know Malcolm Winters came back to town recently, looking good. Looking like the classic Malcolm we all know and love, but he was hiding a massive secret, a deadly secret, aplastic anemia. It is a terrifying disease. Your bone marrow just stops working. It stops making blood cells. You just waste away. And Malcolm was ready to give up. He really was. He told Lily he had lived a full life. He did not want to be a burden to anyone. He was just going to let the disease take him. But Lily was not having it. She fought him. She screamed at him. She used Neil's death to make him fight. And it finally worked. He agreed to the surgery. But they needed a donor. And not just any donor. A perfect match. Lily could not do it because of her history with ovarian cancer. That broke her heart. Kane was tested. But then Holden stepped up. Holden, the secret son, the kid Stephanie Simmons hid from Malcolm for 30 years. Just a massive bombshell for the whole family. But Holden got tested. And the results came back. He was a match. The perfect match. The absolute best possible candidate to save his father's life. So the wheels were in motion. So they rushed it. No time to waste at all. The doctors prepped them both. They wheeled Malcolm into the sterile operating room, the bright fluorescent lights shining down on him. And Holden was in another room, getting ready to give a piece of his own bone marrow to a man he barely even knew, a man who was technically his father but felt like a stranger. It was a massive sacrifice, a huge physical toll. But Holden did it. The surgery started. The doctors went in. They extracted the marrow from Holden, and they transplanted it right into Malcolm. And for a minute, just one tiny minute, everything seemed okay. The surgery was a success. The doctors came out of those swinging double doors. They took off their surgical masks. They looked exhausted, but they looked happy. They told Lily the procedure went perfectly. The marrow was in. Holden was recovering in his room. Malcolm was stable in the ICU. It was a huge relief. The kind of relief that just makes your knees buckle. The kind that empties all the air out of your lungs. Lily just broke down. She cried. She leaned on Kane. Yes, Kane Ashby. He was right there, hovering around the waiting room, trying to win her back after all the fake kidnapping drama. But in that moment, the past did not matter. Lily just needed someone to hold her up, and Kane was there. They hugged. They cried into each other's shoulders. The whole Winters family felt like they had dodged a massive bullet. Devin was smiling. Nate was nodding. It felt like a real victory, a rare win for a family that has lost so much. But this is Genoa City, and happy endings are never that simple. So the recovery started. Malcolm was in his room, resting quietly. The monitors were beeping steadily. The new marrow was supposed to settle in, start producing fresh cells. Engraftment, that is what they call it. But then something went wrong. Horribly wrong. Out of nowhere. The alarms started blaring, just screaming down the hospital hallway, shrill, piercing, the kind of sound that makes your blood run absolutely cold. Nurses started sprinting. Doctors came running from every direction. They rushed into Malcolm's room. Lily jumped up from her plastic chair. Kane grabbed her arm. They ran to the window. And what they saw was terrifying. Malcolm was thrashing around in the bed, sweating profusely. His temperature spiked out of nowhere. A massive, sudden fever, just burning up from the inside out. His body was rejecting something, or fighting a massive infection, or just shutting down completely. And the doctors were totally baffled. They could not figure it out. His vitals just started crashing, just dropping like a stone in a pond, blood pressure plummeting, heart rate going crazy. The medical team was shouting orders, pushing meds through the fourth lines, trying to stabilize him, but nothing was working. Malcolm was fading fast, right in front of their eyes. And then he just stopped thrashing. He went completely still, just lifeless on the bed. He slipped into a deep coma, just totally unresponsive. The doctors had to intubate him, put him on a ventilator, the machine breathing for him. His chest rising and falling only because a plastic tube was forcing air into his lungs. The sudden complication was severe, unprecedented. The medical staff was completely thrown off. They ran blood cultures. They ordered emergency scans. They did everything in the textbook, but they had no answers. None at all. Lily is just an absolute wreck right now. You have to feel for her. You really do. She fought so hard to keep him alive. She begged him not to give up. She poured her heart out to him. And now, he is lying there, closer to death than ever before. She is pacing the hallway, tearing her hair out, crying uncontrollably. And Kane is right there with her. The Lily and Kane romance is sparking again in the middle of this awful tragedy. Panic does that to people. Fear does that. Trauma bonds people together. Kane is holding her, whispering that it will be okay. But he does not know that. Nobody knows that. And Devin is losing his mind. He is already so traumatized from Dominic's kidnapping. His nerves are completely shut. He is furious and terrified all at once. He corners the doctors in the hallway. He demands answers. He wants to know why this happened. Did they mess up the surgery? Did they miss something in the blood work? Was the marrow tainted? Devin is yelling, just screaming at the staff. Nate has to step in. Nate tries to calm him down. But Nate is a doctor. He knows how bad this looks. He knows the grim reality. He knows that when a patient crashes this hard after a marrow transplant, the survival rate drops to almost zero. So the tension in that hospital is just suffocating. It is thick. It is heavy. You can barely breathe in that waiting room. And think about Holden. Poor Holden. He is lying in a recovery bed down the hall, his hip aching from the marrow extraction. He just found out Malcolm is his dad. He stepped up to be the hero. He thought he saved him. He gave a literal piece of his own skeleton to save this man. And now he hears the code blue alarms. He hears the panic in the hallway. He knows his dad might die anyway. The guilt is eating him alive. He feels like his marrow was not good enough. Like he failed his first test as a son. And Stephanie Simmons. She is pacing Holden's room. She is terrified. If Malcolm dies now, her lies look even worse. She kept them apart for decades. She lied to Holden his whole life. And now, just when they found each other, death is ripping them apart again. Stephanie is a doctor. She knows the odds. She knows the severe complications of aplastic anemia. She knows that a sudden, severe fever post-transplant is a nightmare scenario. She is watching the monitors, praying for a miracle, wishing she had told the truth years ago. The Winters family legacy is hanging by a very thin thread. Neil is gone. That wound never really healed. Neil was the anchor. He was the rock. Malcolm was the wild one, but he was family. He was the heart. If Malcolm dies, the family shatters. It just breaks into a million pieces. Lily will not survive losing another father figure. She just will not. Devin might completely snap. The stakes have never been higher. The writers are pushing these characters to their absolute breaking points. It is raw. It is emotional. It is brutal to watch. And the hospital waiting room is just a scene of pure despair. The cold fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the smell of bleach and stale coffee, the uncomfortable plastic chairs. Lily is staring blankly at the wall, just completely numb. Kane is rubbing her back, trying to be the strong one. Devin is staring at his phone, waiting for updates that are not coming. The doctors are running around in a panic. The clock on the wall is ticking. Every single second feels like an hour. Every minute feels like a lifetime. So what is the cause? Is it a hidden infection? Is it graft versus host disease? Did his body just give out from the stress of the surgery? The doctors do not know. They are throwing broad-spectrum antibiotics at him. They are tweaking the ventilator settings. They are checking his pupils. But Malcolm is trapped in a deep, dark coma. His future is completely murky. The life-or-death battle is still raging. But right now, death has the upper hand. The Genoa City Hospital is a war zone. And Malcolm Winters is losing the fight. We are all just waiting, holding our breath, hoping for a sign, a twitch of a finger, a drop in the fever, a change in the monitor pitch, anything. Because right now, the situation is incredibly dire. The doctors are racing against time, the family is praying, and Malcolm is slipping further and further away into the dark. It is a tragic, heartbreaking twist in a story that we all thought had a happy ending. But in Genoa City, the drama never really ends. It just takes a darker turn. And you have to look at how this impacts everyone else. Jack is dealing with his own mess with Diane and Victor. Victor is destroying Jabbat. Nick is overdosing in Vegas. But all of that feels small compared to this. A man is fighting for his life. A family is gathered around a bed, watching a machine breathe for someone they love. It puts everything into perspective. All the corporate backstabbing, all the revenge plots. None of it matters when you are standing in an ICU listening to a heart monitor. Lily keeps flashing back to Neil. You can see it in her eyes. The fear of planning another funeral. The fear of writing another eulogy. She cannot do it again. She told Kane she cannot do it again. And Kane is stepping up. He really is. Despite all the bad blood, despite the fake kidnapping that Lily pulled on him, he is putting it all aside. Because he knows she is breaking. He knows she is fragile right now. And maybe this is how they find their way back to each other. Through the absolute worst kind of pain. But Holden is the wild card here. He is a stranger in a strange land. He does not know these people. He just met Lily. He just met Malcolm. And now, he is tied to them by blood and bone marrow. If Malcolm dies, does Holden stay? Does he try to be part of the Winters family? Or does he run away? Does he blame himself? Stephanie is trying to comfort him, but Holden is angry. He is angry at her for lying. He is angry at the universe for this cruel joke. Giving him a father just to snatch him away a few days later. The doctors are doing rounds again. They walk into the waiting room. Their faces are grim. No smiles. No good news. The fever is still 104. The coma is still deep. His organs are showing signs of stress. Kidneys are struggling. Liver enzymes are up. It is a cascade of failures. A systemic crash. And Nate knows exactly what those numbers mean. He has to explain it to Devin and Lily. He has to be the bearer of bad news. And it hurts him. It physically hurts him to tell his cousins that their uncle is dying. So we wait. And we watch. And we hope. Because that is all we can do. The writers have painted Malcolm into a corner. A very dark, very scary corner. And we do not know if he is going to make it out. Shamar Moore came back for this storyline, and it is delivering some of the best, most gut-wrenching performances we have seen in years. The tears are real. The panic is real. The show is hitting on all cylinders right now, but it is hard to watch. It really is. We will keep you updated every single day because this story is moving fast. The complications are severe, the coma is deep, and time is running out. Malcolm Winters needs a miracle. And he needs it right now. Stay tuned, because Genoa City is about to go through hell, and we are going to be right here to cover every single second of it.